So who is Dhul Qarnayn? We know that he has had this dominance, we know he's had this power. Who is he? And why was he called Qarnayn? So Dhul Qarnayn, there's Dhul Qarnayn, there's Dhul Qarnayn, there's Dhul Qarnayn. That's all the same person. It's all the same person. Dhul Qarnayn, and Dhul Qarnayn. The difference is a grammatical difference. Whenever we say, or we're talking about an action that Dhul Qarnayn did, we say Dhul Qarnayn, if he is the doer of the action. If the action is being done to him, then we say Dhul Qarnayn. Qulna ya Dhul Qarnayn. Allah says, we said, oh, and when we say that, oh, it's the harf al-nida, it's a name calling, whatever comes after it is mansoof. So we say Dhul Qarnayn. And when we say Dhul Qarnayn is when one of the huruf have come in the way, has impacted the way. So we say Ra'aytu Dhul Qarnayn, Marartu, Ra'aytu Dhul Qarnayn, Ja'a Dhul Qarnayn, and Marartu bi Dhul Qarnayn. And that's how, so it's I saw, when you say you saw him, he's the done too, which is Dhul Qarnayn. And if he is the one who's arrived, Ja'a Dhul Qarnayn, we say Dhul Qarnayn. But this is in a Nahwa class. But yeah, so Dhul and Dhil and Dhal, it's just grammatical changes according to what's happening and what's going on in that sentence. So qarn. So if you wanted to know what does qarn mean, qarn has many different meanings. I'll go for some now. Qarn. So if we say qarnul qawli bil amal, if we say qarnul qawli bil amal, that means the action coincided or concurred with knowledge. Qarn is when something has coincided and concurred with something else. And if we say qarnul hayawan, if we say the qarn of a hayawan, of an animal, it is the horn of an animal. If we say qarnul insan, if we say the qarn of a human being, that means the corner upper part of the head. That's the qarn of the insan. If we say qarnul qawm, if we say the qarn of a group of people, we mean their master or their leader. He is the qarn of that qawm. If we say qarnul jabal, we mean the tip of the jabal, the highest point of the jabal. And if we say qarnul shams, the qarn of the sun, then it means the first part of the sun which becomes visible of the head of the when the sun is rising. Qarn also means a century, 100 years. So according to the Mufassir, and that's linguistically, we've looked at the word of qarn linguistically. Okay, so then why has he gone with that name? According to our Islamic tradition, they say that he was the king of Persia and Rome, which is considered the two qarns of the world, the two places of civilization, because he also ruled over them. Some say, and here from this onwards, I'd like to say some say, right? Some say he had domination on both edges of the world, not just Persia and Rome, but both domination. We say that Dhul Qarnayn. They also say he outlived 2 generations, Dhul Qarnayn. So qarn meaning one century, another century. He lived, qarn meaning generation, that he outlived 2 generations, meaning he was alive and he saw one whole generation come, be born, grow old and die, and the new generation to come forth and grow old and die. So meaning he lived a long life. And a lot of the Mufassirun say that he was struck on the head and died. And Allah sent him again to that same group of people. And then they struck him again on the head and died. And then Allah sent him again to that group. So when someone has been struck by and even when the Prophet ﷺ, or the narrations which I'm mentioning it, the Messenger of Allah says, there are also amongst you the companions, someone who has been struck by the qarn, or a person of a qarn, which was referencing to Ali ibn Abi Talib, who was also struck on the head as well. So there are many reasons. There are many sayings and opinions as to why he was called Dhul Qarnayn. Who is he? We don't know much about him except what's in the Quran. That's the bottom line. We don't know much about him. Some people, and we also know that he's not Alexander the Great. A lot of people hold the opinion that Alexander the Great, one of the students of Aristotle, was the Alexander the Great which is mentioned. There's a very big difference. Our tradition tells us that Dhul Qarnayn was someone pious and righteous, and Alexander the Great wasn't pious or righteous or a believer. So we know there's more conclusive type of evidence that he is not that Dhul Qarnayn. We do know that majority of the scholars say that his name is Alexander. If it's not Alexander the Great, his name was Alexander, and he was the one who built Alexandria. We also know that he was Greek. Some will say he's Roman. But again, this is after much, there's not really much that we know, which is conclusive. And focusing on these type of subtleties and detail is can distract someone from the main purpose of the story. All we know is what's in the Quran, and all we really need to know is what's in the Quran and what's been aided by prophetic narrations, authentic prophetic narrations, and also what surfaces from spiritual meanings, which is stirred and awakened through contemplation and through reflection and pondering.